Does your landlord tell you the truth? A shocking new report released by the housing watchdog group, the Housing Rights Initiative, reveals that there were more than 10,000 false applications filed by hundreds of landlords throughout the tri-state. These documents claiming that there were no rent-regulated tenants in their buildings when in fact there were. This all in an effort to allegedly push out those with rent-stabilized apartments. Now, New York City Council is looking to put a stop to this duplicity with a new bill. Here with the details is Chairman of New York City's Committee on Oversight and Investigations, Councilmember Richie Torres, and Aaron Carr, the Executive Director of the Housing Rights Initiative. Gentlemen, welcome to you. Always nice to have you both here with us. Let's talk about, and Aaron, I'm going to start with you first if I can. Let's talk about your organization and the investigation that they did into this situation. How did you go about coming up with your findings?
So an analysis by Housing Rights Initiative in partnership with Councilmember Torres found that the city from 2016 to 2018 approved over 10,000 falsified work permit applications from hundreds of landlords across the 5 boroughs. So for context, in order for a landlord to obtain a construction permit in New York City, they need to disclose to the government whether they have any rent-stabilized units. And this requirement exists to protect tenants from a nefarious practice called construction harassment. And construction harassment is a deliberate technique that landlords use to systematically harass tenants out of their apartments using illegal, destructive, and hazardous construction.
So the idea is essentially, I can't get you out legally, so I'm going to make your environment so uncomfortable and so disruptive that you're going to want to leave? That's the idea?
That's right. It's a form of physical and psychological torture. It's meant to wear down rent-stabilized tenants so they give up their right to affordability in the midst of an affordable housing crisis.
That 10,000, that sounds like an enormous number. It is an enormous number. So the question is, how does that happen? How does the government, with whatever oversight it has, how does that allow that many false applications to take place?
Well, you're exactly right. It's a systemic problem. If you have one falsified building permit, it's sloppiness. But if you are a developer like Kushner Companies, who has more than 80 falsified building permits,
and that's what you found with regard to
34 properties in the span of 4 years, then it's a systemic problem, and it points to a failure of enforcement. There's a lack of coordination among the city agencies. Kushner Companies would tell the Department of Finance as well as DHCR that it had rent-regulated units in its buildings, and then tell the Department of Buildings in the course of obtaining a building permit that it had no rent-regulated units in those very same buildings.
And those two entities never
And since there was no communication between those agencies, the left hand of government did not know what the right hand was doing. And so what we call the Kushner loophole, the practice of falsifying building permits with impunity because of ineffective enforcement on the part of the city, has become a systemic problem in our city.
What is, Aaron, what is the advantage? Because you explained the process to try to drive out tenants. What then is the advantage for the landlord in getting those tenants out of the building?
Money. A lot of money to be made. This is a $1 trillion real estate market. Rent stabilization limits how much a landlord can increase the rent each year. Okay? They can still make a good profit, but it is limiting. So there is an incentive to push these tenants out, renovate their apartments, and then replace lower-paying rent-stabilized tenants with higher-paying non-rent-stabilized tenants.
This is not market value types of tenants.
Absolutely. This is not an accident. It is part of a systematic business model.
We mentioned the Kushner Companies. Their response had been they were looking into it. Mistakes, if they were made, were inadvertent. Right? What are you
More than
hearing?
80 falsified building permits is hardly inadvertent, but.
And I imagine there must be other significant others. You're talking about 10,000 others. What are the other developers or landlords, I should say, saying in response to this allegation that they have intentionally falsified documents? What's the response?
It's an accident. It was a mistake, which raises a very interesting question. When does an accident turn into a systematic business model?
Or a series of accidents.
A series of accidents, not just one or two, but in Kushner's case, 80 falsified permits across 34 buildings. So it's when that little bit of smoke in the distance turns out to be a full-fledged forest fire.
What happens with I'm a landlord, and I turn in this falsified document, and you catch me?
Well, there's a disconnect between what actually happens and what should happen.
Theory and practice.
Falsifying a legal instrument like a building permit is a misdemeanor under local law and a felony under state law. So there should be a referral to the proper authorities for criminal prosecution.
Have there been?
There's no evidence of criminal referrals. And so I'm introducing legislation aimed at closing the Kushner loophole and preventing what I call the weaponization of construction, the use of construction as a weapon for displacing people from their homes. And one requirement from the legislation is that if DOB, the Department of Buildings, uncovers evidence of falsified building permits, it must refer those cases to law enforcement for criminal prosecution. It must.
Finish up. We got about a minute or so left. Finish up with some of the proposals, some of the aspects of the proposed legislation.
So our criticism of the Department of Buildings is that there is no coordination. So the legislation would require information sharing, automated information sharing between the Department of Buildings and the Department of Finance. Second, it would require DOB to be proactive rather than reactive. So if there is a developer who falsifies a building permit, under my legislation, the whole real estate portfolio of that developer would be subject to an audit.
The numbers are astonishing.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating conversation. Our hope is that we can get you both back in here as this moves forward and you can bring us up to date on what's going on with it. So, Councilmember, it was good to see you.
Of course.
Aaron, good to see you also.
See you.
Both be well. We'll talk soon.